Hello everyone! Welcome to Wednesdays with Whitney. I am here today with Dr. Becca Lake.
Hello. Hi everyone.
We're at Shine Chiropractic, and today we're just going to talk about all things chiropractic, maybe answer a few of your questions, and just like have a little bit of fun.
Sounds great. Let's do it.
Yay! So, Becca and I met way back in February. Is that true?
Yeah.
That's true. Okay. Yeah. And we actually met, through Fem City. Big shocker, right? I mean, I've never met anybody through Fem City. And I think we met really the day that she walked in to get her headshots done with me. Yes. So I just got, we did an email. She did my, I think it was my $100 headshot promotion, which will be happening again in the new year. So you jumped on board right away with that.
Oh yeah.
And walked into the studio and I was like, who is this beautiful person? So that was our first experience together.
Yeah.
And then I was like, hey, I am totally in the market for a chiropractor, but it's really nerve-wracking to pick out a chiropractor, and like they're literally adjusting your body. And for me, I'm like I work like my job is so physical all the time that I was having a lot of body issues, but I was too nervous to find someone to fix that. And so I met Becca and I was like, I think this is my person. Becca, can you tell us a little bit about Shine Chiropractic, where we are, and then like your journey to becoming a chiropractor?
Sure. So I opened up Shine Chiropractic actually last March, so I haven't even been open for a year yet. Mm-hmm. And I'm over here in Windsor Heights, right on 73rd, mm-hmm. right next to the YMCA, like literally in between the YMCA and the Starbucks. So a really great place.
You know that Starbucks? I'm there a lot.
As far as my chiropractic journey goes, I was never adjusted until I was 25 years old. I didn't know what chiropractic was until my mid-20s, and I was tired all the time. I was depressed. I had a lot of anxiety, mm-hmm. and I didn't know how chiropractic could help me with that. And mm-hmm. so I went. I had my first adjustment. It was amazing. With a regular care plan, I started to make better decisions. I had more energy. Mm-hmm. My anxiety was a lot lower than usual. And it just kick-started this wellness journey inside of me. And so I wanted to start doing that for other people just because it changed my life so much.
So what, explain this to me a little bit, like what about chiropractic adjustment can lead to some of those improvements? Like what are you doing in the body that relieves that stress?
So the nervous system is the brain and spinal cord. The nerves exit the spinal cord and literally control every single thing that we do, every organ, every cell, and us moving, smiling. Mm-hmm. The nervous system controls all of that. And with that, it also controls hormones. It controls, mm-hmm. how we're feeling, how we're thinking. Mm-hmm. And what chiropractic does is it literally gets rid of that we put like the nervous system back into alignment. Mm-hmm. It reduces that pressure on the nerve that's causing whatever's happening within the body.
Okay.
And then the body can heal itself and be the best functioning body that it can be. So
literally didn't know any of that until just now.
Yeah.
So we were talking earlier. So a lot of the things that make people nervous about chiropractics is, I mean, you're working with the neck. You're working like there's that popping sound. I know that a lot of people are like, I don't want to be popped or whatever. And I find it so gratifying. And not because like, first of all, there's this insane relief. And so can you tell us a little bit about why you crack? Like what is that doing in your body?
Sure. So if you think about, how you crack your knuckles, I'm not going to do
Yeah, please don't do that. Trust me.
But if you think about how you crack your knuckles, there are these tiny gas bubbles within between each joint space. Mm-hmm. And so when you are moving the bones, you're pushing that bubble out, that gas bubble out, and it makes that noise. It's called cavitation.
So are you you're removing that gas bubble so your bones can sit in the right spot? Is that how does that work? I don't know.
It's just air that is in there. Just the bubble that's in there.
Okay.
And it's just part of, it's in there because you're out of alignment. So there's something in there.
So I have a lot of problems with my well, a lot of places, but when I first started coming to Becca, I could not move my neck. So that's something I'm sure all you other photographers out there can really get on board with, the amount of pain that your neck goes under, just because I'm carrying a camera around my neck all day. And then also my shooting arm has a ton of pain. And we started really gradually adjusting my neck because I, like everybody, was completely freaked out by it. So you started with a very gentle adjustment. I think probably the first month or two I was with you.
Yep.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So what I actually started doing with Whitney here is I was adjusting her with drop pieces face down, which we're actually sitting on my table.
We're sitting on the table.
But it's just one of many adjusting styles that chiropractors can utilize. There's literally 200 different techniques out there. And so at Palmer, you learn 4, where I had my education, and you can go out and you can learn a ton more after that if you wanted to. And so, you know, I kind of approached your situation as being as, you know, sensitive as possible, you know, no high force, nothing, you know, that would be too much starting out. And after a while, we kind of, you know, gravitated to a different technique that I felt would be more beneficial.
Well, and I think I had made quite a bit of progress at that point. I also trusted her way more. And I think just having that continuous practice with somebody and building up that trust, they know your body, they know your physical limitations. I may or may not have some trust issues. So like, getting me to relax to the point that you can actually adjust me, like I needed that time, and I had made enough progress that my neck was in a better place also. Is that fair to say?
Yes, I would agree with that.
Okay.
Yep.
And then, you know, my shoulder had been in an immense amount of pain. I wasn't first of all, I could not sleep on my right side for about 6 months. And that wasn't even something that you can't like adjust in here. Like that's not.
Well, I mean, you can adjust the actual shoulder joint itself, but
not this.
Right. But if you think about it, your cervical spine, so your neck, and all of those vertebral segments in there, the nerves that exit out, they control these muscles that go down your arm. Yeah. And they control how they are. How active they are, how, you know, pain, no pain, those you know, nerves, they control all of that. Yeah. So by adjusting the neck, it innervates this muscle here, and the muscle can function how it needs to function. So that started happening to me.
I would say it took about a month before I started. My neck felt better immediately. That was like, I walked out of here and I was like, oh my God, I forgot that I could turn my neck. Like, it had been so long since that was happening for me that I actually had forgotten. And then over time, I didn't even think about it. I just started sleeping on my right side again, which is my favorite side, which I know I probably should sleep on my left, whatever. I've been told, but I still love my right side and the fact that I got to sleep on it. And I wasn't constantly thinking, like, as I raised my camera to my face, about that pain. I was like, oh, that's gone. That's awesome. So, tell me a little bit about what makes you different than other chiropractors.
Sure. So, you know, there are so many different chiropractors out there, and they all focus on different things. Mm-hmm. You know, some are sports oriented, some are more like pediatrics and prenatal. I'm more of a whole person approach style, meaning I'm focusing on the mind, the body, and the spirit all being within alignment. Mm-hmm. So what I do is I adjust the nervous system, but I also really try to get my patients to focus on being mindful meditation, you know, maybe starting a yoga practice, being grateful, a regular gratefulness practice, and a couple other different things that I do here in office.
I think that one of the things that I love is that Becca started a group on Facebook that was a gratitude group, and it's kind of for our friends and people who are small business owners, and really to put gratitude out into the world. And I think something that you and I very much align on is that the energy you put out into the universe is the energy you're going to get back.
Right.
And whenever I come in here, she doesn't just ask me about my pain. She asks me about what have I been doing this week? What's been stressing me? Because different stressors, I find, cause different reactions in my body. Yeah. And you're like, oh, that's been happening, so we should really take a look in this general area. So we recently did a photo shoot, which I will post some photos of later. But so our first shoot together was headshots, and I mean, she just nailed those. I'm sure you've seen some of those in this fabulous face. But we really wanted to flesh out your website a little bit more and bring in that mind, body, spirit alignment into the visuals on the website. And I love it when I get to talk to people about this, because what you put out there visually is such a representation of your brand. And that's something I think about all the time. Like, I mean, obviously, photography is something I think about all the time, but how I'm helping my clients represent themselves. And so tell me your idea and like how we kind of got to it.
Oh my gosh. So I guess that, you know, I just wanted to, oh gosh. I don't know.
So we had been talking very much about being out in nature. Like, yeah, I think it was in the summer.
It was, you know, I believe that, you know, we're all connected. We're all connected with nature. We're all, you know, we're all one with nature. And for me, I'm most peaceful when I'm out grounded in nature. And I wanted to take that shoot out into nature, and I wanted to feel grounded, and I wanted to, you know, spread that, you know.
And connected. I think that we had been talking for a long time, like, where should we do the shoot? We knew we wanted it to be fall, but we still wanted to have that warmth. And we were talking about, well, who's going to be on the table? Who, like, and Becca brought this, like, big folding table.
It's my portable table that I got for $100 at an estate sale when I was going through school. So
we're, like, carrying this table around with us. Yeah. And we decided on Gray's Lake because it's central. It's also, I think for both of us, a really important part of Des Moines, and just to have that natural space in the middle of the city. Yeah. And so we got there that day. And we had 3 different patients, models. And I was, you know, they really had to be on board for, like, laying down at a table and, like, getting into this. But I think the thing that I really appreciated about the whole process is that Becca brings calm wherever she goes. Like, and that's really when I get in here and I lay on the table. Like, I've probably had, like, 3 glasses of tea by the time I show up most of the time. Like, I am jazzed. And I have to carry this energy all day. And then I lay on the table and I'm like, so maybe I'm not getting up. Like, this is just me where I hang out. And even out in the middle of Gray's Lake, her patients and models had that same peacefulness about them. And it's not something we, like, said specifically. It just happened, and I really think that's a tribute to who you are as a person and what you bring in addition to your talent to your table.
Thank you. Yeah.
So we will be posting some more photos from that shoot. But is there anything? Ooh, you're rolling out something before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
What is this?
What I am doing is I am creating a downloadable daily self-care checklist. And so, you know, we're on the run all the time. We're busy all of the time. We don't take those little moments to take care of ourselves. And this was something that was huge for me when I first started launching the office here. You know, I needed to force myself to take these mini breaks, to meditate, to eat a snack, you know, to just focus on someone that makes you happy, something that you're grateful for. So I'm creating this downloadable PDF. It should be on my website by Thanksgiving. I'll probably make a post about it. If you follow Shine Chiropractic on Facebook, I can post the link in there for you guys. So I'm really excited to launch it.
And I think going into the holiday season, the amount of holiday parties that are already existing on my calendar is like, that's great. But we forget because we don't have those evenings off to really take a moment. Like, if you're not at a holiday party, or if I'm not shooting, then I'm shopping for my loved ones. And I think having that daily reminder of, like, okay, it's okay to take a small break, even if it's 20 minutes, to focus on what's going to make me happy today. Because anything that makes, at least in my philosophy, if I'm making myself happy, then I am so much more capable of making the other people in my life happy.
Yeah.
So, yay! Yay, Becca, thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
If you want to connect with Becca, you can find her at Shine Chiropractic, and that self-care checklist will be up before Thanksgiving, so be on the lookout for that. Bye, guys.